Okay, so here we have Adam, and we're talking about the lists from both Denmark in their first match roundup against France Team 2. And we're starting with an Arnor list here. So you want to tell us quickly about that there?
Okay, we got here two very, very strong combos. Eladan and Elrohir, Elven twins.
Yeah.
I can see horses here, but still on foot they're also deadly.
Correct.
We got a lot of rangers of the north that will make many opportunities to set up troops in a better way than your enemy, because one warband is one model, and it's a very, very, very useful thing. There is Arathorn with some rangers, I think. That's regular troops. Halbarat with also rangers, very powerful army based on bows,
yes.
Mostly the bows, and quite high fight value. 4 is sometimes enough for most of evil armies. And the cherry on the top is, in my opinion, that Gildor in Glorion. Nobody will remember because he's quite unusual hero. He's got some fighting skills and also casting spells. He got transfix as far as I can remember.
Gildor in Glorion has transfix. Does he have immobilize perhaps?
Yeah, transfix. Yeah. No, the same.
Of course,
the same.
Even I didn't know he had immobilize.
Yeah, he's very nice, because you have to remember that he's a caster also, but 4 wheels, but still casting, yes.
And he's fast.
And his troops are also very, very fast. It's like as fast as dogs from Shire. 8 inches is sometimes enough to win in scenarios like reconnoitre.
Yes.
In English, reconnoitre.
Reconnoiter, just recon. Let's call it recon. Let's be American.
Okay,
recon.
Okay, recon, and also elves with 5 fight value. It's a very, very powerful mix. When you got troops with the swords in a first rank, like the rangers.
Yeah.
A lot of potential heroic or epic strikes.
It's a nice list. And
yes, I think this is a very good one.
And I also like it because looking across the board now, I've got 90 lists going through my head, okay? Which is why if I say Gandalf with 37 Moria goblins, it's because I'm thinking of so many lists going off. But looking at the lists, this actually this could be extremely, extremely lucky because there's so many other Hordish type lists that this could fit one of theirs in Lords of Battle, in a list that potentially it could be weak at, but yet in Recon it can also be very strong because it has that mobility and it has that ability to hold up the enemy and the
firepower.
Yeah, and the Noldorian exiles can make a break for it, you know. And if you have a ring raid coming in towards you, then Gildor turns around those transfix.
Just think about that heroic marches.
Indeed.
Everywhere could be done.
Indeed, yes, indeed. Very, very nice. Right, let's crack on. So that's the Arnor twins. The next one I've got on my list is the Last Alliance, and I've got that as Elrond, Gil-galad, and Elendil, the High King of Gondor, and Arnor. What do you think? What was your thoughts on that list?
I truly think that this list will not be used.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah.
It's not very competitive if you look at it, but still, it's just Mount of Doom fight. Yeah. That moment in the Middle Earth history, we got Elrond, Gil-galad, Elendil, very, very powerful heroes.
Very powerful.
Some kind of specific casting spells from Elrond. Nature Wrath is powerful when you know how to use it.
Yeah.
Gil-galad is automatic epic strike 9 fight. So
I love him.
come to me, bro.
I love him.
Yes. He is very, very frightening to all monsters, Nazguls, and etc.
There's only
And
one.
Elendil.
Yeah, sorry.
Elendil is very nice because he's got still his free heroic combat each turn.
Yes.
You have to remember that when he is 6 inches away, he could be like in a one moment in your first ranks.
Yeah. You know, this is something I've said to a couple of the other people in videos. One of the things that we forget is that in Poland, the meta will be a certain army type. In the UK, the meta is a certain army type. In other countries, because of their own restrictions coming up to the ETC for the last number of years, their metas may be different. This could actually be the one army that their best player could be playing with. We never know, because we don't know the metas yet. But yeah, I take it on board. My concern with this army here is it has no mobility. Alright, we've gone through that list. It's an interesting list. I will tend to agree. I think that might be the list that's going to be used by the fifth person if they have to step in into the breach for any reason. Right, Trandrel's Hall. I've named that one Trandrel's Hall, and it's got Legolas, Mirkwood Captain,
Yeah.
2 Mirkwood Captains, and then it's got Radagast the Brown. You see, this is why I think that this could be the list that's not used.
Okay, why?
Because it's got so much Mirkwood Rangers, it is entirely bows, and bows work great except in Reconnoiter. Because you keep your troops right at the very back of your own deployment zone, and you allow your enemy to get in really close. And it only takes one fast model, a Warg Rider, an Eagle, anything like that, just to get off the board at that point. So it's quite a difficult one for Reconnoiter. But it does show the amount of bowfire that's out there.
I think this list got the same chances in the recon as the previous one. Also, no cavalry.
Yeah, true.
But still, here is a far more better caster. We got Radagast, the Brown.
Yes.
He can be very, very, very dangerous opponent against cavalry in the big groups.
Yep.
Chamelet, Panic Steed would be very, very strong.
Indeed.
I think this one is good, but not the best option for recon. But still, half of it is stopping your enemy. If it will be done, you are in a halfway to the winning scenario. Maybe you will want enemy's leader, or there's points for break. I think.
Yeah.
Break point. So maybe. Yeah.
I'll have to look that up in a second. But continue, you were saying?
Okay. If as far as I remember, I think if you wound enemy leader in recon or maybe broke your enemy's force, you will still got some points. So there could be no need to escape by the opponent's table's edge.
Yes, I've got pulled recon up, the one we're using, and the points are 3 points if more models have escaped. So it's 3, 5, 7, and then you score 1 point for causing 1 or more wounds on the enemy general, 2 if you kill him, and 1 if the enemy force is broken, 3 if you're not broken. So potentially you're on 5 points, so your opponent needs to then get 6 models off.
I think that could be not easy against such big firepower.
Yeah, the bows, the strength 3s, they can, but I've never had a good run out with bows. I've always put 1 or 2 bows into my army lists just for the laugh of it, just for that sneaky little shot. You know, that time when you need a 6 followed by a 6 followed by a 6.
I know that one shot for one horse under one hero.
Yeah, it just happens. So I suppose I have very little faith in all bow type armies, but you could be right. It could definitely be one that pulls through. And again, I'm forgetting at this moment, we have the captains and the coaches potentially giving a chance to see which armies they want to pit against which. So they may take this army and look at France too and find a suitable one in there for them. So anyway, let's crack on. We're back to Denmark. We've covered Denmark's first 3 army lists, and they've all been good. Now we're going on to Isengard and Verasku. So we have Verasku up here with as the general with 12 crossbowmen. That's not unoriginal. It's a good starting line. It keeps your general kind of at the back sometimes, okay, and safe, but it gives you a lot of firepower. Orkai captain. We have a shaman, Orkai shaman, with a troll, and I'm liking the idea of a troll, and the troll has a spear. Now I like the Isengard. I love trolls with spears. They're actually much more powerful than people give them credit for. And then we have Sharku on a warg and 5 warg riders. So my thought here is I love this list because it's got the mobility that I want to get those objectives for domination, has the ability to get in quickly to help support in things like heirlooms of battle, etc. It has an Isengard troll with a spear. Woohoo! And looking at a lot of lists now, there is the potential that I think a lot of the games will actually go red versus blue. So shamans are going to have their day.
Till first Nazgul.
Yes, that's true. Then run away the shaman. I suppose run away all your heroes.
Perfect 50 points value warrior with a spear that after one sapwill.
Yes, indeed. I really think it's looking very, very good. So that's an interesting list. That's a very interesting list.
Yes, I can also agree. You got firepower, you got numbers, you got cavalry, even monster.
Yeah.
For very, very vicious, brutal power attacks.
And you've got what I class as your inbred bodyguard within your berserkers. Yes.
2 berserkers? Yeah, 2 berserkers.
Yeah, there's 2, but that's still sometimes enough. A berserker frightens a fellbeast.
Yes, that's true.
And now the last list for Denmark we have is the Mordor Dark Marshal. Now here, and I'm finding this through other lists as well, people aren't really pulling out the fellbeasts out from the dusty closets. They're pulling out the horses a lot. So there seems to be a lot of named rates with horses on. So we have the Dark Marshal on horse, and he's leading 4 Morgul knights with lances there. We have a Mordor Orc shaman with the Blackguard Barad-dûr, a mixture of Moran and Orcs as well. And then we have an Orc Taskmaster with some more Blackguard Barad-dûr, a Mordor Troll Chieftain. Shame you can't give him a spear, isn't it?
Yeah, but you can make an ally with Isengard for that 1 spear.
Yes.
On the second row.
Yeah. And then we have a Castilian of Dol Guldur. That's actually a very, very interesting list.
This is kind of expensive ranger of the north, I think.
It is. Now, I've never actually used Castilians. What can you tell me about
them?
But
maybe this one fellow could be the one guy with the Morgul blade to stack it into Felbeast, Mumak.
Indeed. Do they automatically get on a Morgul blade? Do they not?
They got option of 5 points, I think, for Morgul blade.
It's not being paid for.
That's pity.
It doesn't. That's yeah. No, that would put him over the. That's not being paid for. Maybe the player has yet again that idea that the Castilian can do something else. Maybe it's just one of those nasty little models.
Still, this is fight value.
Yeah, strength 5.
In evil, that's very nice. 5 strength, it's quite really much, I think.
Yeah.
If player would be greedy, he will give him an X.
Yeah.
I think Castellan could be good choice, but that mortal weight should be taken, I think. 5 points, only 5 points, for being very, very scary.
Yes, it would be, wouldn't it? But to be honest, my love there is the Mordor Troll Chieftain. I can't wait to see that. I personally, if I ever got a chance, I'd put spears on all trolls. I know you can't give the Mordor Troll Chieftain or any
just conversion.
You can't, but I think they should have a spear. If they've got strength 7, they can carry anything they want, in my opinion. But yeah.
And again, we got here Nazgul with very nice special rule as a banner.
Yes.
Of troops. This is very powerful, especially with units of cavalry.
Yep.
Very strong benefit for them. Mordor Shaman. Oh, we talked about Shaman earlier.
I find that a Shaman in a list with a Wraith tends to be safer than the Shaman without the Wraith, because the Wraith, you don't necessarily want to get in too close.
Yeah, that's right.
Because you can find your own Wraith being transfixed, compelled, sapped, willed, the whole shebang. It all goes down. So I think that the Shaman in this listing, this one could go quite well. The Dark Marshal, I've never used the Dark Marshal. I love the fact that it's the banner. I love the fact that it's the, in fact, other than the Troll Chieftain, it is definitely the highest fight value there at a 6.
That's true.
And even the Castilian. So were this to come up against other named Wraiths or even Ring Wraiths themselves, this can tackle toe-to-toe any fight 5s that are out there. The Dark Marshal and the Troll Chieftain can tackle your Elf fight 6. So it's really good with a lot of spear supports as well there going in.
And still this one, Ring Wraith, is still casting in a regular way.
Yeah.
Not with a harder way like Camel or Betrayer.
Yeah. So it's a nice list. Again,
this is one with everything.
Yes.
Cavalry, troops, maybe no shooting here, but this is Mordor. You cannot got everything.
Let's drop down to the French. Let's say hello to French. Bonjour. Right. My first list here, as I've written it down, is Angmar, Shade, and Mordor. Have you got that one?
Yep.
Right.
Yes, I got.
We are seeing quite a few shades coming out, and my potential thoughts have always been a shade bottles your army up, because if you keep your army like this, it allows the shade to do its business. You don't really fizzle out a bit. But when we start looking at this, we have the shade as the actual general.
Okay, I can see it, but okay.
Yes. And we have a Spectre coming in there. And then we have a Gundabad Black Shield Shaman. And just in case there's any raids out there, we've got another Gundabad Black Shield Shaman. And on top of that, we then have a Ring Wraith. Now remember what I said, if you've got a Ring Wraith, your Shamans are usually safe-ish. Now this is just a basic bog standard 2 might, 1 fate, and a few extra little wills in there, Ring Wraith. And then we have another copy again of a Ring Wraith. So we've got 2 Ring Wraiths, 2 Shamans, a Shade, and a handful splattering of Spectres. What is it? I think we've got 3 Spectres around. What's your thought on that list?
I think, especially I love Gundabad Shamans.
Yeah.
Because enemy of this army should think how precious your bow on Legolas could be, your staff on the wizard
Oh,
could be, yeah?
yes,
And you
yes.
have to be careful because after one successful spell, you can go to Legolas like a regular fighter, go to combat because he will have no bow.
Very much so. And you also have the Harbinger of Evil from your rates. You're reducing everyone's
Yes.
courage as well. Yeah, it's a nice, nice list.
And there is a second specific spell. We got Tremor.
Aha.
That cheesy line of wounds, like quite little of blast,
Yeah.
Sorcerer's Blast, but in a different way, quite harder to cast. Because
Yes.
it's a line from the caster and 2 inches, I think.
It's 2d6 inches, so it's anything from
Yeah.
2 inches up until 12 inches away. So yeah, it's nasty. Now something else. This is a 65 model count army. There's 65 models in this army. There's no serious big hitters. There's no investment of 150, 200 or 300 points in here, right? This is quite interesting.
That's true.
Yeah, this is very interesting. Right, I'm looking like we might have some connection problems kicking in. It seems to be fine at the moment. We'll address that if it comes up. Gil-galad and the King's Champion. Aragorn and Rivendell.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, go on, talk us through that with Gil-galad again as
Yes,
the
I
general
got
there.
it. Okay, we got Gil-galad with his King's Guards, which means very high fight value
Indeed.
of 6. Twins with another Elvish warband.
I like to see the twins coming through. There's a lot more twins coming out.
This is the best ratio between cost and what you got, yeah?
Yeah,
About
indeed.
70 points for 6 fights, 3 might, 2 wills, 2 fates, and twice.
Yes, but I love the twins because all you have to do is take out one and the other one just races around like a madman.
That's true. The best option is to kill that twin with the firepower, bow or black dart.
Yeah.
So that one twin will have to run for archer or mage.
Yeah, it becomes a
A
TO's
very
nightmare. Becomes a TO's nightmare
Yeah.
when you have two players debating whether he has to use his might to heroic march to get closer,
Yeah.
when surely he can't heroic march because he's going to bump into other troops.
We got in Poland one very funny situation because twin was killed by archer
Yeah.
on a umak.
Right, so the twin had to race after the archer, but generally
Yeah.
had to race after the mummock.
Yes, and that was funny because there was a hilltop
Yeah.
where from twin could possibly jump into the Hodach. And there was great discussion, is it possible in the rules to put enemy model on the second side model?
No. Right, so
I know.
yeah.
That was no, but because the twin players said it was in the movies, and why not? It was very hard to say to him,
'Cause
okay, that's a good idea, but
we don't
no.
have the budget of Jackson. we just work with simple bases.
Yes, true. We got here and going back to the France.
Yeah.
King's Champion. I very like this hero because of his bannermen.
Well, let me let you into a little secret. I actually think there's more King's Champions coming to the ETC than there are Fell Beasts.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's nice.
There's a lot of King's Champions. And I can close my eyes. King's Champion, 6 Khazad Guard, 4 Dwarf Iron Guard. You know.
Quite close, but okay, you were close.
Yeah.
We got 5 Khazad Guards and 1 Iron.
There we go. And then we have someone we haven't seen before. Earl the Young.
This is a very nice hero. Perfect choice for cavalryman hero.
Indeed, indeed.
Free hero, no hero, free might point
might.
for whatever you like.
2 will and
It's
2
really
faith.
nice.
Yeah. And he's got his Sons of Earl. It's a small cavalry warband. I worry about the Maelstrom of Battle, where it could easily get put on the table, on this table edge, and just surrounded and destroyed quickly. But it does have its ability to, if it gets on first, to make that, 12-inch move.
Yeah, 12-inch, and this is armored force.
Right.
Defense.
So that was the first one of France, second one of France. Now we're on to Mordor, the Undyne Cardush list.
Okay, first Felbeast.
The first Felbeast. Yes. The Undyne on Felbeast, Orc Tracker, Spectre, and Morannon Orcs. I'm just looking down this list. I'm seeing a few more Spectres kicking out here. I think the French are liking the Spectres.
Especially with Drain Courage from the Nazgûl.
Indeed. I've actually used Spectres with an Angmar force, where the Witch King with Harbinger of Evil, a Shade to make sure the Spectre wins the combat, and then the Spectre killing Iron Hill dwarfs on 4s.
That's nice. But also there is that one nice trick with that was Abrakan, King of Abrakan gods, and the Golden King of Abrakan with Spectre and his special role. That's a very nice combo.
I must add again, only because I'm personally mentioning this, my Angmar force has a cave troll with a spear supporting the Spectre as well.
And maybe Shade in the combat. That would be perfect. Also, he will want better way against Courage.
So I noticed we've got some more trackers coming in, and in each of the war bands we've got 2, 2, 3, 2, 2. So we're getting our bows coming in on the cheap versions on the back of Orc trackers. Why give an Orc warrior a bow when you can give an Orc tracker a bow at a lower fight? The bow strength's still going to be the same, so it's a real cheap way of getting bows in. I like it.
And if you see that you don't need to use your bows, and Cardush got some troubles, you can easily eat trackers.
Yeah, he can eat trackers, yeah. I don't know if you have in Poland, but we have tracker bars, where if you need some energy, you can kick in and have a tracker bar. Right, so then we have another ring rate on a Felbeast in the second warband. So now that's 2 Felbeasts kicking around. That's quite interesting. Cardush, Captain, Morannon Orc Captain, and Morannon Orc Captain. It's a nice list.
We got Morannon fan, I think. Fan of the Morannon force.
Yeah, it's a nice, strong Morannon force. That strength 4 in combat's definitely going to go well against a lot of people. Right, so let's crack on to the next list. We've only got a few more, and then we can just chill out and have a natter. To France, to Galadriel and Dwarves.
Galadriel and Saruman.
Is Saruman? Oh, Saruman's in there as well. So yes, in fact, I don't even know who the general is there. It could be Saruman.
I think I would choose Galadriel.
I know you would, but you're not French.
I know.
Yeah. So you Polish people, now you be quiet for a moment while I look at the actual French list. Hang on. Here's the French lists. 10 French lists. So it'll be for Team 2 and Team 2. And it's Galadriel. You're right. Okay. Now
she's staying on the back. She should be a leader.
Yeah, she's got the power. And it's just when I saw the horse, though, Saruman on the horse, I just wanted to clarify that. Now, this is Galadriel, Lady of Light. Okay, so this is the baby who banishes.
Yes, anti-shade, anti-Nazgul.
Yeah, and then we have Saruman the White on a horse. So we've got two very, very powerful spellcasters. Now, I've seen this combo used alongside a Lake Town list, which has been very, very powerful. So I'm going to be interested to see what it's going to be like with a dwarf list. Again, a very powerful hero. We've got Gimli. Yeah, some Iron Guard and Khazad.
Old school hero.
He is amazing, isn't he? He's a stunty little grenade. And then we have Trandrel in there as well. I mean, we generally have 4 generals here in a sense with this list. A couple of Gladrim warriors and guard of the Gladrim court. So interesting. My only concern about the amount of points spent so far, is this going to reduce our model count? No, it isn't, because we're bringing in some hobbits. Cheap and cheerful. We've got Band of Brass, the Bull Roarer, and we've got some hobbit archers and some hobbit militia. And our model count there is... oh, it's 39 models. Now remember the earlier list that we had with 65 with the ring rates and stuff. How do you think this list will fare?
I think this is a very powerful one, because we got here Blast, we got Light, we got Nature Up, we got Bodyguard.
Yes.
5 Value of Fight and 6 in 3 points. Yeah, Guardian Guards.
Yeah, Gladrim
and also one man, and again some bows from hobbits.
Funny thing we've also got 12 stones. Don't forget those 12 stones.
yes, and the very funny thing is, here are only 3 models able to support.
Yes.
Very unusual.
It is. It's as a I'm a Fell Beast player myself. I like playing Fell Beasts. If I was to come up against this army, I wouldn't know which way to look, because there's quite a few threats in there. We've got hobbits, which seem for some reason they are better archers than anyone else in the game, even though they need the same dice roll. They just seem to get better dice rolls. They're small. They still seem to get better dice rolls. And then we've got some Khazad Guard. We've got your bodyguard, so I can't really get my Fell Beasts in. And then you've got some awesome 3 casters, along with Gimli with his big axe saying hello. So it's a scary list.
And pikes.
And you've got pikes. Oh, that's a scary list.
I think the idea of this list is to be anti-Nazgul list.
Yeah, I could see it, but it can also stand its ground against a bit of a horde as well, because it does have that ability.
Yes, I can agree.
Okay, so
very, very like it very much.
We've got one more list left, and that's the Shadow Lord and Spectre, as I call it. And the reason I call this the Shadow Lord and Spectre is because there's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 Spectres in this list.
And 4 ring raids.
The Shadow Lord, the Dwimmerlake, the Witch King, and just a normal ring raid. And of those, we have 1 Fell Beast as well with the Witch King. The Shadow Lord, I understand.
This is very, very powerful Witch King.
Yes, it is. We all understand the Shadow Lord. We know what the Shadow Lord is about. It's really your blinding light, in a sense. We understand that. That's good. Keeping on a horse. It's where I'd put a Shadow Lord, I think. I don't think I'd waste money or points on a Fell Beast for a Shadow Lord. The Dwimmerlake on a horse, again, yeah, I can see that. So you've got two wraiths hiding behind your army. Then you've got the Witch King itself, and then you have the ring wraith itself. So you've got a load of magic going on there, a load of Harbinger of Evil coverage as well. But will the Spectres be able to do the job? Because if they came up with up against the previous list with even such a high courage value, will they be able?
How many models we got here?
Oh, I dare to say 28 models.
Oh, that's not much.
It isn't.
I think it could be not enough.
Yeah, again, you see, we have a banner in here with a black Numenorian. Nice. Then we have 2 black Numenorians. In fact, even when it comes to our front line tends to be Morannon Orcs with spears, totaling 12 Morannon Orc with spears, Spectres, black Numenorians with a banner, and then a mismatch. And why? I don't mean to be disrespectful, but it seems a mismatch to me of wraiths, named and unnamed. Could I have lost the Dwimmelake and brought in the Knight of Umbar, or even the Undyne in that list? I mean, I've got defense 6. Okay, I've got defense 6 generally across the board, except for my Spectres. Okay, do I need a Shadow Lord?
We could come back in this place to talking about metagaming in each countries.
Exactly.
Maybe
yeah.
This army in France could meet in a battle many free death armies like elves.
Yes.
And specters with defense of 5 could be very vulnerable against such archers.
Indeed. Right. That's all our lists. What are your thoughts? This is where we sit back.
You know that.
Oh dear.
That's a really funny thing, because before our chat, I was thinking that France would win. But when we were talking about we got this and this kind of hero and this kind of troops, and I'm quite much sure as I was before our chat.
You're right.
I think it would be France winning this round against Denmark.
Right, that will be very interesting, because I think that I think the French lists are interesting, but they seem to, in those last 2 lists, Gladriel and the Shadow Lord list, there seems to be a lot put into specific things. Like, you've got so much points put into the Gladriel heroes, okay, Saruman, Gladriel, Gimli, and Trandril. And then in this list, you've got so much points put into the evil heroes, the Shadow Lord, the Dwimmelake, the Witch King, and then a Ringwraith. Whereas if we go back to the Denmark lists, you had the Arnor twins. We both agreed that we thought the Last Alliance was potentially the 5th army. But then you had the Dark Marshal, you had Isengard Vrasku, and you have Trandril's Hall. And Trandril's Hall had Legolas again and a lot of shooting. So obviously I don't want to put Trandril's Hall up against the Shadow Lord list.
Yes, that's true.
So that's the first thing the captain's going to be thinking. Second thing is that Last Alliance list actually now a fluffy list? Because up against what we have here, the only list I wouldn't want to put it up against in the France 2-1 I would imagine the Mordor Undyne Cardush list. But I wouldn't mind it against the other ones. I'm glad I'm not playing. Because I think I would wring my captain's neck for making such a bad decision, or B, I would love my captain for so much for making the right decision and putting me against the right person.
This is a nice situation to notice, because I think we got too specific. In France, they putting many more points on heroes, especially that not cheap ones.
Yes.
And armies from Denmark, we got something like safer armies, like We got troops, we got artillery, we got everything we should, but armies from France got that sharp thing, sharp claw, to strike in a very specific way.
Indeed.
And I really like that we can, after that matchup, we could see which way of gaming would be better in this round.
Yes.
Maybe it's better to be safer, but not very interesting armies. But I think we could agree that armies from France, there are so many specific ideas from that army, that spectres and Nazguls, and mixing with a good army like Galadriel and Blast and Frendel and bodyguards and many things that should work together.
Yes.
But will it work? We will see.
Adam, let me ask you a question. The reception isn't very good at the moment, and I apologise to all the viewers for this. But let me ask you one final question before I let you go. As the coach for the Polish teams, and you're also a TO at the event, you're going to help referee all teams bar Poland, of course, right? But also as the coach, how are you feeling the fact that I'm giving you 2 weeks notice about the team you're coming up against and their armies, but then after your first round, you've only got an hour or less to try and figure out the matchups. Who are we playing, Dave? Who are we playing? Oh, we're playing that country. Oh, what's their lists?
We in Poland we got a very specific tournament each year.
Yeah.
Team championships. We got 4 players in each team, 2 forces of good, forces of evil.
Right.
And for my team, it was a very, very specific way to be prepared before the tournament.
Of course.
Printing all armies of all our enemies and trying to figure out how we should deal with them maybe 1 month before the event. And I think that's really nice to see armies before event, because it's giving some very nice feelings. A little bit of stress, a little bit of fun, a little bit of joy.
Yeah.
It's really nice to see armies before, because we can see, oh no, not this team, okay, we will definitely lose. Yeah. And maybe on the tournament day, we'll have to fight against that specific armies, and maybe something do to win.
Yes.
And after that kind of battles, we got very specific stories about, and that was very specific fight, and we got to do something specific, and that was strange to do, and that all talks about the games after the game.
Yes.
And before the games, sometimes I think is the most important part of this hobby. Not playing, that moment when you are playing, but
talking about it afterwards.
You know what I mean? Yes,
I do. Listen, Adam, thank you very, very much. I hope the video of your, because we've just done Polish 1 earlier today with Jin Singh from West Coast Hobbits. Don't you dare contact him and ask him what the other army lists were. But we'll be publicising that all real soon. And hopefully what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to see if I can get every video out on the same day so that it's fair for everyone. I'll keep you informed on that. Again, also, Adam, a big thank you from me, because I understand you're bringing some scenery bits and pieces to help us out.
Yes, everything is set up. We got car, we got terrains, and we will bring it to Hamburg.
Excellent. Love you for that one. And listen, I'm really looking forward to working with you as well. Okay. Now, I'm going to love you and leave you. I know you need to get ready because you've got a tournament tomorrow. I don't have a tournament tomorrow, even though there is one here local. I'm sticking with my fishing for a while. I've won the GT, so I'm just going to relax now.
You got a main judge being relaxed before event.
Indeed. Well, listen, mate, you take care now and have a good weekend, and I will speak to you real
Anne.
soon.
Love
Okay.
you.
Cheers, Adam. Bye for now.
See ya.
Ciao. Okay, so that. Whoops.